Hi, welcome, welcome. I am so glad you're here. I am Kelly Pitts, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas, and I'm thrilled that you're here with me for a surprise video. This is 3 of 3 in the last couple of hours. I realized I had 6 kits made total. That's all you can get from a 12 by 12 of the Shoppes paper, designer series paper. You can get 6 of each image. If you do some fussy cutting, cut out of all the paper, you get 2 sheets of each paper. So you're only going to get basically 6 of each of the Shoppes to play with. And this is kind of like in childhood when you play with your paper dolls and all that kind of thing. Use your imagination. This has been a lot of fun playing with this set. I did not have the stamp set or the dies, so I just did everything cut out of the paper. So I've kind of strategically spaced it out, and I've got a card making experience coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. And here it is, 5:26. And I couldn't put my samples together because I didn't have another one to do a video. So we're doing it all at once right before the class because why? Kelly is an adrenaline junkie. That is why. But we're going to make this card. This is not the final one. This is kind of on there just to show you. This is the sample. And I'm going to switch cameras over. Thanks again for joining, whether you're live on Facebook or live on YouTube or you've joined by the replay. I'm always happy to see you and always happy to see your comments and see who's watching, and hope you share and spread my creative juices all over the place. Hope you enjoy, and I'm going to make a quick show you how to do this card and move on. So thanks so much. Please comment if you're watching. Would love to know. And I will switch this camera over to the both of us, and now we'll switch it where you can see the card bigger, and there we go. Okay, as I said, this is the template, and I actually got the instructions from her. It was Bluegrass Stamper online on a video. Jeanne Moss, Jeanne Moss, and it's a standing pop-up card. And I've made some of these before, but I liked her instructions, so I've made myself a template, hopefully, and we'll be able to follow that. But this is a 4 1/4 by 10 1/2, so you'll cut off 1/2 inch off the end of the cardstock, and this is balmy blue. And where you score it at 3/4, at 1 3/4, at 3 3/4, and at 5. Okay, and that's that piece. And then you'll have a separate piece that is 3 by 5, and I need to make sure these are 5 and not 5 1/2 like they usually are. Let's see, here's a ruler right here. Yes, okay, 3 by 5, and that is scored the same way as the first one, just the first 2 scores, 1/2 and 1 3/4. All right, so those are 2 separate pieces of balmy blue. And then I've got a 4 inch by 4 inch of this sheet of the Shoppes DSP. That's what we're working with today. And then I've fussy cut this out of the DSP. And then we've got some of the cobblestone street that's on the opposite side of all the goodies there, sweet treats. And this is 1 1/2, I believe. No, 1 3/4. 1 3/4 by 4 for this piece. And then I've got a 1 inch by 4. That's not quite. It's really 7/8 of an inch. Yeah. 7/8. I don't know why, but it's 7/8. There you have it. And we've got a happy birthday. Oh, we're not using that happy birthday. Okay. Here we go. And then I just had a scrap piece of white, and I've stamped on it with shaded spruce. And that is from the Charming Sentiments set that I use this one a lot. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. Charming Sentiments 159985. If you're interested in that. And then the dies are called Sentiment Silhouettes dies. And that is 158733. And I just stamped it and stamped the happiest of birthdays. And then you take the die that coordinates with that, which is this one. Let me get this where you can kind of see. And see, you just lay it around right on the edge of all those letters like that. Die cut it out with your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and presto, there you have it. Okay, so we are quickly going through here and hope I don't mess this up, because this is, I have, like I said, I've made this fold before, but I seem to not always fold it the right way to start with. So you'll fold up all of the little folds, all the little score marks. Let me find my bone folder that I just had. Here we go. Covered it up. So you've got that 1/2 inch score line, 1 3/4, 3 3/4, and 5. And you can double burnish them, or however you want to do that. Same thing here. We need to burnish these. This little 3x5 piece was scored at 3/4 and 1 3/4. So it's scored just like the first two of this one. Okay. And you just kind of make all these folds fold up, and you can see how this is going to attach and make it stand up. It'll stand just like that. Okay. When we get it done. So you can kind of practice it to get it in your head how it's gonna work. And we're going to, since this is going to go over part of your DSP that's at the top, then you need to put the DSP on first. And this, as I said, I think I said, is a 4x4 square, 4 inch by 4 inch, and just leave an even border all the way around. And Bob's your uncle, as they say. Okay, now we're going to fold this. I'm going to get my little template, because that's going to be the easiest way for me to make sure I do this right. Okay, so we're going to fold at the second score line, which is right here. That's where we're going to fold next. That's the next thing we do. Fold there. And you can see this little tab, that little bitty 3/4 inch fold, that's where your glue is going to go. You could use tear and tape. You can use liquid glue or Stampin'. I'd probably use Seal Plus if I used something like that, and make sure that's even. And then you're going to fold that and glue that down. I'm hoping that's right. Okay, we're going to see. Now this should pop up like that. Okay, see if it stands. Indeed it does. Woohoo! Yay! We have this part right. So there's that. Okay. So you've got your little DSP back here, just kind of making a background. It's like a little blueprint, I think. That's kind of what it looks like to me, because the architecture. All right, now we're going to take this flap is going to fold down, and then that one's folding in. Okay, we're not going to put glue on this yet until we figure out where this goes. But what I believe is that here we go. We're going to fold it to here, the second fold again. Okay, the second fold, and this is going to go at the top of the card. All right. So when you glue, you're actually gluing right here. See? So you'll be gluing this. You're going to line it up on the second fold. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. You're going to line it up there, center it side to side, and then you'll press that down. And then that section is going to pop up and attach to here. See? Okay. Thank y'all for tuning in. Would love for you to comment and let me know who you are and where you're from. And I'm sorry I'm in a hurry. I've just got a class. So I'm doing my sample for the class right now on a video, because I didn't have any extra supplies to do it any other way. Okay, we're going to line this up at the top. We're going to go ahead and put glue here. You can use tear and tape or Stampin' Seal Plus, whatever you want, or liquid glue. And I'm just eyeballing this. If y'all are the type you need to have it exact, then I would measure from side to side. But you can check from the top. Make sure you have that down good right there. Yeah, it's not up there. It's down here. Hang on. We were just gluing at the top and nothing was there, right? Okay, so that's going there. Yay! Now, this is the tricky part. That's got to be like that. Okay, so you see, for it to flow flat, that's really the only way you can do it. Okay, because this should be lined up at the top, and it is. And then you're going to put a little glue right here, and you're going to glue it to there. Let's see if that's supposed to go to where that's flat. I think it is. So it should go where it'll do both ways. So I really would use liquid glue because you're going to need to make sure you've got that right. Let's see, top flap. I'm going to look at my little top flap attaches here over your DSP. Okay, and you decide at this point, you want to decide when you're designing your card, do you want this focal point to be a focal point in and of itself, or do you want the designer series paper? Like if you, whoops, whoo, I didn't realize I already put glue on there. So we're going to put designer series paper over like that. Okay, I forgot I had that glue there. We're going to get that on there where it should be. Now that stands up. Okay, so you saw me, the glue goes underneath this flap with this one, not at this line, but this line. So you can kind of tell, but I wouldn't do it with tearing tape right away unless you've done several of these, because I forgot I had even glued it, as I said, but oh well, it works. So it will stand up. Ta-da! Yay! So there you go. That's your stand up, pop up portion. And then, as I was trying to say earlier, if you want this to be the focal point and you want your DSP behind it, you have to glue it before you do what I did. Okay, but I wanted my DSP on top because it's kind of supposed to be a cobblestone street underneath my little shop. So I am just putting that with an even border all the way around. And I think I gave you the measurements earlier. I think it was 1 3/4 by 4. Yeah, 1 3/4 by 4. Okay, then we're going to take our little, I just felt like this greeting it didn't stand out enough. Like that. And believe it or not, this is petal pink. This is just the 7/8 of an inch. I wanted it just big enough to go. I wanted it to go side to side on the little cobblestone and pop that up. So it just give it a little color. All right. So you want to audition your pieces before you glue these. We can move that out of the way. Okay. Now this is going to have to be, I wasn't thinking that it had to be right there. I was going to stick it up further, but it does. It's going to have to be like that. So it can fold flat in the envelope. So make sure of that when you're doing it, because I didn't realize how that was going to work. As I said, I have messed that fold up a couple of times, and it's been years since I did it. So we're probably, yeah, we're okay to do that. So we're going to put dimensionals all on there. One in the middle. Ought to be plenty. Got a hair in there. Try to get this where you have a little bit better idea of what I'm doing. And sorry, I don't have a sample that I'm going by because I just kind of laid it out and just did it. So this is going to be the sample for my card making class tonight. I wish that could stand up ahead of that. That's what I wanted, for it to stand up above. but it can't because it wouldn't fold flat in the envelope otherwise. So there you have it. All right, so it's a good thing I did this little strip. And you could put texture on this strip. You could do anything you wanted. And we're going to pop this up, the little happiest of birthdays in the middle of that strip. And I'm just going to do that with an edge. Let's see if I have a little mini edge here that I can use. That one looks good. I'm just going to take the edge of this. If you have your foam adhesive strips or foam adhesive sheets, those would work great also. I'm just putting this on the back here. Let's get that where you can see it. That little strip to kind of hold all that. And we'll just, whoops, have a little bit peeking through. I'm going to snip that off. Snip it in the bud. Was that Barney? I'm dating myself for sure there. On Andy Griffith. Wasn't it Barney that said nip it in the bud? All right, there's that popped up. And we're going to just do this flat. We'll see if we want it underneath, right under the house, or we want it kind of down lower. I was kind of thinking, I fussy cut this out of one of the pieces, and I'm kind of thinking I want that to overlap both of those, and then I wanted this over on this side. So I think that's about right. So we're going to glue that flat. And you can tell I was thinking I was going to put happy birthday stamped on the pink, but I didn't like that. So this is the petal pink strip. That's pretty close to the bottom. Then I'm going to pop our little menu up. Or it's not really a menu. What is it called? A little, I think I said it in the last video. Is it a menu board or something like that that tells you what they've got in this darling little sweet shop here? And I would go back and put Wink of Stella and all that if you want. And you could even put flowers in the pot. We have the little loose daisy embellishments that could be cute. You could put little flowers in there if you want. Whoops, we're going to have to double pop this end up because I'm going to put a couple of minis there. Sorry about my arm that needs lotion and a lot of care that it's not getting because I spend a lot more time stamping and prepping than I do on personal care. So, you know, that's the way it goes. All right. So do y'all think we need some little flowers in the pot there? Or do you think that takes away from the cute little sweets in the window? You could do extra embellishments in the window if you wanted. You could put a window sheet there over it if you wanted. There's lots of things you could do to embellish this fun little card. And let's see here if we want, do we want some little flowers here too? Or is that a bit much? I think we're getting busy. Getting a little busy. I think we're going to pass on that. What do you think of that, peeps? Do y'all like the little flowers? Or do you think it's better without them? Just leave it a potted plant. You could even put some little flowers up here along that. It just kind of, I don't want to take away from the sweet shop. But that's basically the card. How fun is that? We're going to leave it. Right now, we're going to leave it like this. And show you how cute that is. So you could do that with different houses in the set. Like we also have cut out that I haven't used on the other two cards. We've got this house that you could do, not house, but shop. You could use this one if you wanted. Not quite as cute overall. And this one's not big enough. The bookstore is not big enough. So this one didn't have enough stuff in the window, and I figured I would have to probably watercolor or use markers or blends or something to brighten this area up. And so that's why I chose this house. I really feel like it pops really well off of that blue. So that is that. Hope y'all have enjoyed this, and hope you'll pass it on. And if you do this yourself, you can take time to do all kinds of embellishments and all that. But, oh, thank you. I'm a Facebook user. I appreciate it. Now, this is my third card in the series. So if y'all want to watch the other videos, I've got these two also. Let's put those where you can see them. Barely. And then this one opens up. That was one I did just a few minutes ago in a video, about an hour ago, maybe less. And then here's a bookbinding fold. And that's it. Thank you, Janice. I appreciate that. Whoops. And one of my classmates is outside watching. So I better get off the video so I can let her in. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I really enjoyed it, and hope y'all will share and like and comment and all that. So thanks again for tuning in. Y'all have a great day. Fun times ahead. Bye-bye.